United States has announced that it has intercepted multiple Iranian ballistic missiles and drones that were launched towards the Strait of Hormuz and the Gulf as negotiations between the two sides stall. According to the U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, 7 ballistic missiles were fired towards Kuwait and Bahrain on Friday night, hours after CENTCOM shot down 4 Iranian attack drones that were launched towards the Strait of Hormuz. Saudi-Pakistan Joint Business Council Chairman Prince Mansour bin Mohammed Al Saud has expressed interest in investing in Pakistan's motorway infrastructure projects during a meeting with Federal Minister for Communication Abdul Aleem Khan. According to an official statement, the minister invited the Saudi business community to explore investment opportunities in major road infrastructure schemes, including the M6 Sukkot Hyderabad motorway, M10 Karachi Port motorway, and M13 Kari and Rawalpindi motorway. The Board of Directors of Peshawar Electric Supply Company has approved an annual bonus for employees in recognition of their performance during the 2025-26 fiscal year. According to an official notification, regular, contract and deputation employees will receive a bonus equal to 1 month's basic salary. Lump sum and daily wage employees will be awarded a bonus equivalent to 1 month's initial basic pay.
Dry and extremely hot weather has begun across Lahore and other parts of Punjab, with temperatures rising as the province experiences a new spell of heat, according to the Pakistan Meteorological Department, PMD. The current temperature in Lahore is around 32 degrees Celsius. The maximum temperature is expected to reach 41 degrees Celsius during the day.
Punjab Chief Minister Maryam Nawaz has directed authorities to ensure the early completion of the region's first Environment Observatory project, reaffirming the provincial government's commitment to environmental protection and the fight against plastic pollution. In her message on World Environment Day, the Chief Minister ordered the continuation of legal action against the manufacture, sale and use of substandard plastic bags.
The Islamabad High Court, IHC, has declared the government's decision to halt the overseas postings of trade and investment officers based on an intelligence agency report as illegal and void, directing authorities to proceed with the appointments. The ruling was issued by a single-member bench headed by Justice Raja Inam Amin Minans, which heard petitions filed by officers whose over-recent postings had been blocked, despite completing the selection process. A Nepali mountaineer who survived nearly a week on Mount Everest said he chewed ice to stay alive as he recovered in a hospital after a miraculous rescue that stunned the climbing community. Dawa Sherpa, 57, disappeared in brutal conditions on the upper slopes of the world's tallest mountain on May 30 during one of the final climbs of the spring season. North Korea plans to build a 10,000-ton destroyer and develop secret underwater weapons, state media said on Saturday ahead of a visit by Chinese President Xi Jinping. The Rodong Sinmun newspaper, reporting on a Thursday naval test supervised by leader Kim Jong-un, said he ordered the Navy to deploy the destroyer Kang Kon and another 5,000-ton warship, the Cho Hyun, as soon as possible. Nothing stirs up Taylor Swift's fervent fan base quite like new material. But in lieu of an album drop, the mystery surrounding the Grammy-winning artist's upcoming nuptials is doing just as much to mobilise her fandom.
British actor Anthony Head, best known for his roles in TV shows including Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Ted Lasso, Merlin and Little Britain, has died at the age of 72. Head found international fame as Rupert Giles in hit supernatural teen show Buffy in the late 1990s. Canada's Food Inspection Agency has announced a temporary ban on livestock from the US state of Texas after flesh-eating screwworms were discovered in calves this week. Cows and horses that were in Texas any time within 21 days before crossing the border into Canada would not be accepted into the country, an agency news release said.
Shaky ceasefire between the US and Iran has been tested further, with American forces targeting Iranian drones and radar sites and Iran firing missiles at US bases in the Gulf. The US military said it had shot down 4 Iranian one-way attack drones launched towards the Strait of Hormuz, which it said posed an immediate threat to regional maritime traffic. In many ways, the FIFA World Cup 2026 will be one of a kind, from the biggest participation pool in the competition's history to 3 host countries. The 39-day tournament hopes to be the grandest version of football's showpiece event.
North Korea's Kim Jong-un has ordered his navy to build a 10,000-ton destroyer and develop secret underwater weapons before a visit by China's Xi Jinping. According to the official Rodong Sinmun newspaper on Saturday, Kim supervised a naval test on Thursday, boarding the 5,000-ton destroyer Kangkon and observing another 5,000-ton warship, the Cho Haeon, as he continues to visit military and weapons sites before Xi's visit. The Kangwon had partially capsized during a launch ceremony last year and had to be repaired.
Punjab Food Authority, PFA, sealed a production unit of a well-known bakery in Lahore after uncovering multiple food safety violations during an inspection conducted as part of an ongoing audit of major food brands. The operation was carried out by PFA enforcement teams under the supervision of the Additional Director Lahore. During the inspection, officials confiscated and destroyed 4,500 kilograms of koya, 840 kilograms of cream, 50 litres of expired chemicals, and more than 1 mound of raw materials deemed unfit for consumption.
Police in Islamabad registered 432 cases of kidnapping and sexual assault during the first 5 months of 2026, according to official data obtained by local media. The figures show that 55 sexual assault cases and 377 kidnapping cases were reported across various police jurisdictions in the federal capital between January and May.
Probable Glacier Lake outburst flood, GLF, event triggered emergency response measures in the Hispa-Hopa region of Gilgit-Baltistan after the Pakistan Meteorological Department, PMD, detected a sudden surge in river discharge from the Hispa catchment. According to PMD officials, the department's Gilof early warning system recorded an exponential rise in water levels, prompting immediate alerts to the Gilgit-Baltistan Disaster Management Authority, district administrations, and other relevant agencies. Pakistan and India again traded barbs at the United Nations Security Council, UNSC, this time on occupied Kashmir, with Islamabad slamming the other side for misleading the Council. Speaking during the presentation of the UNSC's annual report to the General Assembly on Friday, Pakistan's permanent representative to the UN ambassador Asim Iftikhar Ahmad called for the resolution of the Kashmir dispute, according to a press release. Pakistan coordinated and drafted the introduction to the annual report.
British actor Anthony Head, best known for his roles on television in series such as Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Merlin and Ted Lasso, has passed away at the age of 72. The actor gained global praise in the 1990s for his portrayal of Rupert Giles in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He also played King Arthur's father, Uther Pendragon, on the BBC series Merlin.
A Nepali mountaineer who survived nearly a week on Mount Everest said he chewed ice to stay alive as he recovered in a hospital after a miraculous rescue that stunned the climbing community. Dawa Sherpa, 57, disappeared in brutal conditions on the upper slopes of the world's tallest mountain on May 30 during one of the final climbs of the spring season. Jalen Brunson drilled the go-ahead free throw as the New York Knicks held off a furious San Antonio rally to beat the Spurs 105-104 and take a commanding 2-0 lead in the NBA Finals. San Antonio player Victor Wembanyama had a crucial late turnover and missed a potential game winner with 2 seconds remaining on Friday, leaving the Spurs in need of an unprecedented comeback when the best of series shifts to New York for games 3 and 4.
founder of India's viral cockroach Janta party, arrived in New Delhi on Saturday to lead a protest against Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government, taking the country's largest online youth movement to the streets for the first time. Abhijit Dipke, 30, who has lived in the United States for the past 2 years, had said his family and friends feared he could be arrested on his return to India. The new attacks in the Middle East on Friday threatened to unravel an already fragile US-Iran ceasefire. Weeks of complex talks, marked by threats and flare-ups of violence, have failed to secure a deal to end the war and reopen the Strait of Hormuz, a key conduit for global energy flows.
In a slickly produced podcast interview published this week, Ivanka Trump talked about her latest real estate project, what she described as an unbelievable, beautiful 400-hectare private island in the middle of the Mediterranean, plus 5 beautiful miles of Albanian beachfront intended to become resorts and hotels. But the project, backed by the US president's daughter and son-in-law, Jared Kushner, includes planned development of a protected natural area along the coast across from the island, which conservation groups say has already damaged the beautiful area Trump was praising. Pope Leo XIV arrives Saturday in Spain, where he is expected to focus on the treatment of migrants and polarization in politics, themes likely to cement his pontificate as a counterweight to the Trump administration. The first American Pope's June 6 to 12 trip will see him visit migrant centers, address Spain's parliament at a time of intense polarization in the country, and make a visit to the iconic Sagrada Familia Basilica in Barcelona. It's also expected that he'll meet clerical sexual abuse survivors.
Observers across the world have long questioned the utility of Donald Trump's now 3-month-old war on Iran. But a growing number of voices from within the US president's Republican Party are saying that this futile and illegal conflict must end. A resolution calling for the withdrawal of US troops from Iran passed narrowly in the Republican-controlled House of Representatives recently, with 4 members of the US leader's own party backing the resolution. The move has expectedly incensed Mr. Trump, who called it unpatriotic. Since the start of the war, most American lawmakers had only mildly been criticizing the joint US-Israeli attack on the Islamic Republic. But now, with US midterm elections in November inching closer, both Republican and Democratic lawmakers want to avoid the voters' wrath at the ballot box. The good physician treats the disease. The great physician treats the patient who has the disease. Sir William Osler, 1849-1919. In 1986, Carlo Petrini founded the slow food movement in Italy to counteract the so-called fast food by promoting local food cultures, traditional cooking and sustainable farming. Inspired by this, the concept of slow medicine took birth, a patient-centered approach to healthcare that prioritizes time, listening, and comprehensive care over rapid, high-tech, intensive interventions. It emphasizes quality, the patient's context, and shared decision-making to avoid hurried, unnecessary, harmful treatments.
Approves 100 BN financing facility for PSO. Oil company facing over 900 BN receivables from SOEs. Special honoraria expanded to more ministries, departments, Rs 10s. 15 BN cleared for Pakistan Navy's Hangul project. 4.38 BN granted to Gilgit-Baltistan ahead of elections, Islamabad. Less than a week before the next budget, the Economic Coordination Committee, ECC, of the Cabinet on Friday approved more than 40 billion in supplementary grants and a 100 BN sovereign guarantee-backed financing facility for the Pakistan State Oil, PSO, which is facing over 900 BN in receivables from other state-owned enterprises, raising concerns about smooth oil supplies.
Party think tank seeks Rs 1.2 million exemption threshold for salaried individuals, calls for abolishing the super tax and reducing GST to 15 PC, demands capping petroleum levy at 50 per litre, Islamabad. In a shift from its earlier stance of non-engagement, the Pakistan Tehreek-i-Insaf has unveiled its budget proposals for 2026-27, calling for relief to the salaried class, sharp reductions in government expenditure and wide-ranging reforms to what it describes as a fiscal framework that has burdened taxpayers without ensuring economic stability.